finished off Wessex Blades. Sorry, it's been a while since the last video. I wanted to do something like this, like an update, probably the Monday after Edale, but there's been so many loose ends to try and gather up together and try and tackle. So this is more of an update of to what I've been up to over the last week and a half, and Edale itself. In fact, so much so I've had to do myself a list. So thanks for joining me again. A big update for Peter. Your jackal is this one, which I've completed now. So it was brown with striped finish in walnut. So that one now is complete. I'll give you an email today or tomorrow just to catch up with it. And I did you a ferro rod. There you go. I ended up doing that in I think it's in Wenge, because the rest of the walnut I didn't like the look of it. It's just too much near the end of the sections that I had, so I went for a nice piece of Wenge. Now I'll try and find myself another source of walnut, so probably down to interesting timbers. I did myself a sheath for a display jackal I've had for a fair while, so now I've got a decent display jackal with a decent sheath, which is very nice, because normally they end up with mismatched sheaths on my display. So there's a very up-to-date kind of model for my sheath design from a stall, so I'm quite chuffed with that. And used the other piece of Wenge for ferro on the side. I went back to my years ago theory about having a tab at the bottom, so you can either have your ferro rod tying something on, or tying it to your leg, or just you could sort of cleat it up into a thing there. So I was quite chuffed about that. So that was that finished up and away. This was because I did a jackal for Peter, just getting in the swing of it. I did a spare jackal, and this is the one with the crazy U-handle. I put a pick up, and 40 minutes later there was an offer, so this is now sold. It's about as long as they last when I get one spare. So it's in 52-100. This is a lean and mean one, but the grain on it is just bonkers. Really lovely section of use, all swirly bits. There's just so much character in it. So that one's gone. And then I did a decent batch of ferro rods, so I could end up making sure Peter had one. And then this one was the ferro rod for this jackal. And I got a few left over. And then because I was on the bench so much, I determined I was definitely going to do the rack of wood. I used a couple of bearers that I had from a local building yard, so I've sanded it all up. And what I found was if I used a Forstner bit and did about a 30mm hole, I could get far more capacity by putting all the certain size pricking irons in one and all the hole punches in one, rather than a series of holes that took up this much around a corner. So I've got even more tools in there, and it's all tidied away and out the back now, so I've got a little bit more room at this, the furthest reach of my the bench, so I'm really pleased with that. That's how it's worked out. But basically it's like the normal tooling holes, and I've interspersed the sort of like 9mm holes with quarter, but I just committed the top back row to big holes and just put all the series of stuff in like that. So all the seeds, all the pears, all the straight chisels, and all the different sizes of pricking irons. So I'm quite chuffed with the way that worked out. So that's that tied away and out the back. And the biggest update, which is why I wanted to do it last Monday, was Edale. How great was that, eh? Oh, I think what we can take away from Edale is just how hands-on somebody like Lenny is. Constantly walk around the site checking how we are, we're keeping up on the litter, making sure our fire pits aren't dropping coals onto the ground, making sure stuff don't blow across the field, like carrier bags and things like that. So, you know, the whole site is kept up together. He had all the cars and tents with the plan all arranged in such a way that it was always a route out, and it was just really organised and yet laid back. It was a really good feeling, and to be honest, it's probably about the best meat you can get, because if you were at a show of a certain area and you're all together, you could end up like isolated in that zone, whereas in Edale you've got the town you can pop in and visit, you've got the walks you could go on, there's so much else around that you don't have to be confined to just the site and the people and the exhibitors or the stalls. If you were, you know, in some great event showground somewhere, there's a lot of things you can do on the doorstep. Just walk and do a fantastic walk across the peaks all the way around and back again. So it's you know, it's a really good location. So I would encourage anybody to come again next year. I would encourage anybody to come for the first time next year. It's a brilliant place, really well organised, and until you do a meet like this, or a meet like the prepper meet, you can't really make much of a judgment on it and just thinking, well, you haven't got big stalls. Generally speaking, the prices will be more anyway when you go to a big show, because they've had to pay for a ridiculous pitch. So Edale was brilliant, and what I want to do is make a mention of the videos that we're uploading to YouTube. There's a facility where you can add that to a playlist that you create. So all you end up doing with that is boosting someone else's figures, promoting the Edale meet even more to anybody who may not be subscribed to other people's channels, and it's just going to give a lot more momentum and a far bigger reach. So I would encourage you, if anybody's got the where or know-how of setting up a playlist for Edale 2018 or the GNBC 2018, please do it. We can collate them all together on your own little sites, and we can get the coverage out even more. So there's plenty of people with hundreds and hundreds of views already on there. The video that they've filmed and they've edited and uploaded, but also there's a facility on your channel to make a playlist for yourself, and then encourage people to watch that by doing the end cards. So please be a bit savvy. Obviously add mine to any of your playlists you want. Add Spyros or Goonies or whatever, and bug out vehicles, and it will just get far bigger reach, because you can end up hitting other areas that the persons who you added to the playlist may not be reaching. So if you could add stuff to playlists, it would be brilliant. Updates on gear. All I used torch-wise, because it's summer evenings, was the Odite one on my keyring, which is a little one, and then twisted it's a bigger sort of setting. That's it, low and high. That lasted all weekend. I suppose the last 20 minutes of the third night it went on to low, come back, plugged it in the USB, that was it, charged back up again in about an hour and 20 minutes. So that was surprisingly effective. I imagine 20 minutes on high, and it would give a couple of hours on low, but it lasted me on high all the way through, walking up backwards and forwards at night. So that was a good bit of kit. I'm waiting at the moment still for the next blade batch, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm sort of hanging back on, if that makes sense. So I've kept busy in bits and bobs and a lot of housekeeping. Within this batch, so I think it's about 4 new models. So I've got a Parang, I've got the Prepper knife in a final design, I've got a new Westhook, so that's the old one, and the new one is a different shape, and I got a new shape yeoman, of which I got an order for Stephen. So I'm going to offer up whether or not Stephen wants that design or another design, like the original. And I'm just sort of waiting back on that really. So as soon as that latest batch comes through, I can move forward with the next set of orders in the book. And there was the other option of whether or not I've had a lot of interest in the past, whether there's the interest now, if I order 10 of my new 4-inch ThegnLore knife blanks, and then sell them as blanks, if that makes sense. It'd be a quicker turnaround for me in terms of money out and money back again, so it could well be a decent tactic for me to recover costs of a heat treat, batch and cut. So if anybody's interested, please leave a comment underneath so I can sort of see whether it's a viable thing. But I fancy actual, yeah, that now it's because it's a design that most makers do. I can't really, it's not really a Wessex Blades concept, as it were. It's more of a design within this universal set of woodies. So I reckon there might be a few interested people to do that sort of thing. So it's sort of 250mm blank with 8mm holes, and all you've got to do is then source pins, handle, liner material, of which you could do your own choice and then make your own efforts on a Wessex blank. And obviously my blanks that I use the partial bayonet heat treat that not many other manufacturers offer. So if anybody's interested in that, please leave a comment and give me a chance to sort of gauge numbers. What else? Oh yes, UK Knife Show. I've got that coming up in a week and 2 days. It's coming up pretty quick. There's obviously everybody's there, so there should be Lee and Belford, and there should be Sandy. 7K Metalworks should be there. Alan Wood, Farrad Mayer, one of my favourite blokes to have a chat with. And one I managed to catch up with. You may have been aware of a company in America called Trick Tools, and what he did was they based a 900 watt electric motor that would be on a grinder, and what we normally do as knife makers is we grab one wheel, pitch it off, put a pigtail on it, and put a buffing mop on one side, so we've got a huge, great, powerful buffer. Well, this thing uses a drive wheel, an armature with a tensioning system, and a contact wheel at the end, and it runs on 2 and 4-inch belts. And I'm really interested in weighing up whether I could get a 4-inch version of that. Now, when you used to get it through America or Australia or Europe, the freight was as much as the actual assembly, so it was ridiculous. It was like £480, £500. There's a supplier in the UK, so if anybody's into that sort of option, if you've got a big Axminster 900 watt motor that you've convertified into a buffer of some description, if you're only using one side and you've only got the left hand pigtail, this is something that's financially achievable for me, and could offer me some fast processing. So I want to catch up with that guy at the knife show. I'll be there to say hi and meet and greet. I might have one on me to sort of show, sort of like that, but I won't actually be pitching sales, as it were, because it's not a done thing. So UK Knife Show, it's sort of like 2 weekends to go, and then the weekend after is the prepper meet, of which I'm planning to go as well. So there's opportunities to come and chat, see what I got there, and had a word with the preserve lady, and we're trying to get another half-dozen jars because I nearly sold out of the mango chutney and the spiced tomato chutney, which had a pretty good run. I'd say the interest in that was a lot more than I thought it was going to be, so I've had to get another batch quick fire done through the lady who does the preserves. So that's about it, I think. Thanks for joining me. I've got a couple of ferro rods there if anybody's interested. I've got 3 in new, 4 in new, one without a lanyard hole, but he's polished up. It's almost looks like Ripple Sycamore, that little dinky one. Oh, and I drilled that out, all 9mm holes, so I've got a decent high capacity block for a stall. I've got one there, and that's in beech. But yeah, if anybody's interested, I could do that with a lanyard, so £15 post to the UK or something like that. But yeah, fantastic. Bench is tidy. Edale was good. It's just sorry it took so long to get all the housekeeping done. But crack on. Looking forward to live show and prepper meet. Join me again. Scott Wessex Blades.